Okay, we are going to take a look at solar furnaces of the type that Dale Schneider manufactured and sold in Michigan in the early 80s, mostly in southern Michigan. And the ones that I did reconnaissance on are clustered around Flint, mostly to the south of Flint. The first one is in a town called Burton, just kind of east of Flint there, a bit south. But before we visit that first house, let's get a little backstory on the solar furnace.
I see you're watching that video we shot a few weeks ago.
Yes, I am. That's a solar air furnace that was invented by a fellow by the name of Dale Schneider back in the 70s after the Arab oil embargo of 73, when the federal government was giving tax credits for all kinds of energy-conserving devices. He just came back to Michigan to find these units 30 years later are still functioning on people's homes, still giving them the same kind of service. So now he's looking at not just residential, but also commercial and industrial. It's very exciting.
Okay, let's get back to our Google Earth tour in the Zollman's house. And you'll see the arrow point right to the furnace itself. From this altitude, it's not much to look at, it's just a black bar. But we will go to street view. However, Google Earth doesn't give us a very close-up look, so I've got a picture here. We'll load. The Zollmans bought this house just 6 months ago, and they were a bit skeptical at first about this solar device on their roof. But Michigan had a rough winter this past winter, and they said in their minds the unit really proved itself in some pretty extreme conditions. So they are very, very happy campers and enthusiastic really about the product. Okay, we are going to zoom out and do a reference check on Flint and then head a little bit south and head for Jackie Elliott's house. And there's the solar furnace where the arrow is. There's actually two of them. There's another one below that and to the right. We'll go to street view on Jackie's house. Now Jackie, her husband installed this 33 years ago. He has since passed away, but she was very proud that he had the insight and the means to um, put the capital up front to cut down his bills and make her life a little easier. Let's zoom back out. I want to get an interview with her. The next unit is just down the street from Jackie's. Street view. There's two units in this house. They look to be in good shape, but the owner, who was not well, told me that they need fans. Him. Let's zoom back out. Go to our next unit. Go street view. It's hard to see that unit on the roof. And tried twice to get a hold of these people. They were not home either time. Zoom back out. The next unit was a drive-by find on my way to a known unit further west. This one's on Lennon Road, and it doesn't have glass glazing, so it might have been a homemade job. Um, tried to talk to the people. There was a babysitter there. She didn't know anything about it. So didn't get too much information about that one. It does indicate, though, that people were very interested in the time and have kept the units around, whether they made it themselves or bought it or what. So here's the unit, the triple that I went looking for. Did get a chance to talk to this fella. He was very enthusiastic about it, wanted to talk to me about maintenance, and said the units are all working. He had them all removed from the roof at one point and re-roofed and then um, reinstalled. He was quite familiar with, he was really quite proud of himself that he had something that others didn't have. Let's zoom back out. And there was one last unit that I stumbled across on my way through town. This unit was belonged to a family who, a couple who had passed away a couple of years ago. The house has been vacant since then. I talked to the fella in the house on the right. He didn't know, what the status of those units is. I guess there was one more unit. It's way down in Detroit area, Southfield. See if I can't pull that one up here. There it is there. This unit I've seen several times over the last 30 years. Let's go to Street View on that one. But I have not spoken to the people, so I don't know what the current status of this unit is. That's the last of them that I did the recon on. I'm sure there's plenty more where those came from. And I'm anxious to do some interviews with these folks and get some more of their stories.